Welcome back to Onyx Recaps. Today we will talk about the movie Barbarian, released in 2022. If you're ready, let's begin. The film begins on a dark and stormy evening, with rain pouring heavily from the ominous clouds above. Tess Marshall, her face glistening with droplets of water, stands in front of a picturesque Victorian-style house located at 467 Barbary Street, the Airbnb she had meticulously reserved for her weekend getaway. Eager to check in and seek refuge from the relentless downpour, Tess discovers that the house key is inexplicably missing. Panic creeps into her mind as she fumbles through her belongings, desperately hoping to find the key that holds the promise of a warm and cozy shelter within those walls. With her heart sinking and the weight of disappointment settling in, Tess decides to make a final attempt to salvage the situation. She dials the phone number of the person who facilitated the booking, but to her dismay, there is no answer. In frustration, she sends a series of frantic messages and emails, desperately pleading for assistance. As the minutes tick by, the rain continues to lash against her, growing more intense with each passing moment. Just as Tess contemplates giving up and seeking alternative accommodations, a sudden flicker of light catches her attention. A subtle glow emanates from inside the house, illuminating the raindrops as they cascade down the windows. She cautiously approaches the front door, her hand trembling as she presses the doorbell, uncertain of what lies beyond. To her astonishment, the door slowly creaks open, revealing a tall figure standing in the doorway. Keith Toshko, a friendly-faced man with a warm smile, greets her with genuine surprise. It turns out that Keith, too, had booked the very same Airbnb, unaware of the overlapping reservation. Keith, sensing Tess's dilemma and empathizing with her predicament, kindly offers her a temporary haven until they can figure out the confusion. His generosity and willingness to lend a helping hand provide Tess with a glimmer of relief amidst the chaos of the stormy night. Together, they embark on an unforeseen journey, weaving a tale of unexpected connections and shared moments that will forever be etched in their memories. Facing difficulties finding alternative accommodation, Tess reluctantly agrees and decides to freshen up with a shower. Later, Keith extends an invitation to share a bottle of wine, where Tess shares her purpose for being in the area, to meet with a filmmaker named Bonnie Zane for a job interview. Much to Tess's surprise, Keith reveals that he has seen her previous film, despite her assumption that it had gone unnoticed. This connection leads to a brief bonding moment before they retire to bed. In the stillness of the night, as darkness envelops the house on Barbary Street, Tess finds herself awakened by an unsettling sound, a desperate gasping escaping from Keith's lips. Night terrors, haunting his dreams and unsettling his slumber, seem to grip him in an ironclad embrace. Worry etches itself across Tess's face as she instinctively reaches out to comfort her newfound companion. With a gentle touch, she tries to shake Keith from his unsettling reverie, hoping to bring him back to the realm of wakefulness. However, the sudden jolt only serves to startle both of them, their hearts pounding in unison. Keith brushes off her concerns and denies that anything is amiss. The following day, Tess heads out for her interview. As she steps outside, she is taken aback by the sight of the neighboring houses surrounding the Airbnb, all appearing abandoned and in disrepair. Undeterred, Tess proceeds to meet Bonnie at the restaurant. The interview goes smoothly until Tess casually mentions her current place of residence. Bonnie's reaction is immediate and alarming as she urgently advises Tess to leave the area as quickly as possible. Upon returning to the house, Tess finds herself pursued by a man named Andre, who implores her to vacate the premises. Though slightly unsettled, Tess continues with her tasks and eventually ventures down to the basement. To her dismay, the door locks behind her, and she realizes she has left her phone on the kitchen table. In the basement, she discovers a rope fastened to the wall, which leads her to the startling revelation of a concealed tunnel entrance. Initially hesitant, Tess musters the courage to explore the tunnel briefly, only to stumble upon a room containing a bed, a camera, and a disturbingly bloody handprint on the wall. Moreover, she notices a staircase descending further into the unknown, triggering an intense wave of panic. Frantically, she rushes back to the basement where she spots Keith outside and urgently enlists his help in escaping the house. Tess urgently relays her disturbing discovery to Keith, insisting that they must flee from the premises. However, Keith attempts to calm her fears, assuring her that there is nothing sinister lurking below. Curiosity getting the better of him, he decides to investigate the situation himself. As time passes and Keith doesn't return, Tess becomes increasingly concerned. Determined to find him, she descends the staircase into the depths of the unknown. Suddenly, piercing screams and desperate pleas for help reach Tess's ears, emanating from Keith's direction. Hastening her steps, she follows the sound and discovers Keith in the tunnel, wounded and terrified. He reveals that something has bitten him, before they can escape. A horrifying and grotesque humanoid creature, known as the Mother, materializes, its naked form instilling sheer terror. With merciless force, the Mother brutally kills Keith, crushing his head, before fixating its attention on Tess, emitting a bone-chilling roar. An undisclosed period later, screenwriter A.J. Gilbride finds himself behind the wheel, driving, when he receives a troubling phone call from his colleagues. They inform him that he has been dropped from their latest project due to an allegation of rape made against him by a woman. A.J. staunchly maintains his innocence, but even his accountant severs ties, refusing to represent him any longer. Later, A.J. confides in a friend, insinuating his guilt as he alludes to pressuring the woman into a sexual encounter. Subsequently, A.J. travels out of state to a rental house, coincidentally the very same Barbary house. Upon arrival, he discovers Tess's abandoned luggage, piquing his curiosity. Driven by a morbid fascination, A.J. ventures into the basement to unravel the mysteries concealed within. However, he quickly becomes the hunted as the Mother gives chase. Desperately fleeing, A.J.'s escape leads him to an unexpected pit, where he discovers Tess, held captive by the abomination that is the Mother. Let's rewind to the 1980s, a time when Barbary Street thrived with residents. Among them is Frank, a resident of the same house. One day, Frank visits a store to purchase baby products. During his outing, he notices a young woman and becomes captivated, clandestinely trailing her back to her residence. To gain access, Frank disguises himself as an electric company employee and manages to enter her house, unlocking the bathroom window. Upon returning home, Frank's neighbor, Doug, informs him that he and his wife have decided to sell their property. Returning to the present timeline, Tess implores A.J. to remain quiet and composed. In a peculiar turn of events, the Mother lowers a baby bottle into the pit where Tess and A.J. are trapped. Tess, feeling compelled by her circumstances, drinks from the bottle, but A.J. displays resistance. The Mother descends into the pit, assuming a maternal role towards Tess while growling and screeching menacingly at A.J. Seizing an opportunity, Tess and A.J. manage to climb out of the pit, commencing their escape. However, A.J. becomes trapped in a room where the Mother coerces him into breastfeeding from her. Tess, determined to free A.J., shatters the basement window and is promptly rescued by Andre before the Mother can reach her. Andre endeavors to lead Tess to safety, but she insists on returning to liberate A.J. Tess contacts the police, yet upon their arrival, they dismiss her claims, mistaking her disheveled appearance as that of a drug-addicted individual. Despite the setback, Tess persists, guiding the officers to the house. Regrettably, lacking tangible evidence of a crime, the police depart. With darkness descending, Tess seizes the opportunity to break into the house and retrieve her keys. Once inside her car, the Mother emerges, desperately attempting to breach Tess's vehicle. In a desperate bid for survival, Tess drives into the side of the house, aiming to vanquish the Mother. Although the impact momentarily incapacitates the creature, it quickly regains its bearings. In the meantime, A.J. finds himself in a room where he discovers Frank, bedridden and gravely ill. To his horror, A.J. stumbles upon a collection of tapes meticulously documenting Frank's heinous acts of rape against numerous women throughout the years. Repulsed by the depths of Frank's sickness, A.J. confronts him, triggering a distressing turn of events. Frank, driven to the brink, retrieves a gun and takes his own life with a fatal shot to the head. Reacting swiftly, A.J. seizes the firearm and exits the room. Amidst the chaos, Tess's voice echoes from the depths, calling out to A.J. Startled by her presence, A.J.'s startled reflex causes him to accidentally pull the trigger. The bullet finds its mark, striking Tess in the abdomen. Nevertheless, A.J. manages to assist her in escaping the house. Once outside, Tess realizes that the Mother has vanished from her previous location. Determined to find refuge, she directs A.J. towards a place of safety she knows of. Leading A.J. down to the water, Tess follows Andre's earlier instructions. Andre reveals that Frank, the house's owner, was likely the orchestrator behind the abductions and assaults on the victims. He would abduct women, subject them to rape, and continue the cycle by raping the resulting offspring. The Mother, a product of these heinous acts, had been a captive of the house for over 4 decades. Confident that they have eluded the Mother, Andre's optimism is shattered when the monstrous entity reemerges, tearing off his arm and using it as a weapon to bludgeon him to death. Tess and A.J. flee desperately, seeking refuge and climbing up a water tower. Just as they reach the top, A.J. drops the gun, hoping to redeem himself and save both of their lives. In a heart-wrenching decision, he grabs Tess and hurls her off the tower, knowing that the Mother will instinctively pursue her baby. A.J. descends rapidly, believing he has triumphed, only to have his hopes crushed as the Mother springs back to life, gouging out his eyes with her thumbs before brutally crushing his skull. The Mother, driven by her primal instincts, crawls towards Tess to nurture her. However, Tess, harboring a mix of sorrow and determination, seizes the gun. A fleeting expression of remorse crosses her face before she pulls the trigger. As the gunshot echoes through the air, Tess rises and exits the area, determined to seek the medical attention she urgently requires. And there you have it, the spine-chilling tale of terror and survival that unfolded within the walls of 467 Barbary Street. Join us for more spine-chilling tales and shocking revelations as we delve into the depths of the unknown. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay up to date with all our thrilling recaps. Until next time, may you find solace in the light, for darkness lurks where we least expect it.